Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with another battle report. So just by a twist of fate, I'm facing the same Skaven player that I played a couple games ago. This time, I decided to bring up my son's dwarf army. I don't like that it's not completely painted, but I just needed some variety, so thought I'd give him a go. I don't have much experience with dwarfs. I purposely put together a list that, in my opinion, looks a little seventh edition-ish. The units are 20 to 25 models instead of hordes. But I just thought I'd try it out and see how it went. So the Skaven player, this is starting on my left. He's got a Doom Wheel. Those look like clan rats there. He doesn't have the models for giant rats with the Packmaster, and so he's proxying them to see if he likes them and if he's going to buy the models. So he's got a small unit of giant rats, a Warp Lightning Cannon behind it. There is a large unit of Plague Monks with a Plague Priest and a Plague Furnace, another Doom Wheel, a weapons team, some Storm Vermin with the Gleaming Pennant. The Plague Monks, of course, have the Plague Banner. With the Storm Vermin, there's a Chieftain Battle Standard Bearer. There's also a Warlock Engineer. Then there's another Warp Lightning Cannon, another weapons team, large unit of Clan Rats with his Grey Seer General, as well as another Warlock Engineer, and then some more proxy giant rats. So facing him on my far right, in the back, I've got a Grudge Thrower. It's got the rune of +1 strength. Some thunders in front of him. Then wherever I have warriors, those are always warriors with great weapons, full command. So I've got 25 warriors, then I've got 20 Ironbreakers, then 25 more warriors. I've got a Runesmith General. I've got a Thane Battle Standard Bearer. Then I've got a Bolt Thrower with +1 strength and flaming. I've got an Organ Gun, 25 warriors, more 25, another set of 25 warriors, and then a cannon with flaming. And then I also have a unit of miners come in on the board. And I have a gyrocopter. So we go to dwarf turn 1, and it looks like that. So, I'm not sure going into this battle what I'm going to do exactly. I know that obviously I don't have a magic phase, and he has a very strong magic phase. I've got shooting, but you know what? I think he has better shooting than I do, and if not, it's at least pretty equivalent to it. And then when it comes to combat, I don't know how that really ranks up. I think I've got him edged in combat, troops. So really, what my thinking was, I moved up a little bit because I want to be able to flee charges when he starts coming at me, to give me time to kill the things that need to be killed, especially that plague furnace. And after that, I think I'm just going to have to get multiple charges in, at least 2 of my units on every one of his. So we go to turn 1. My cannon hits the plague furnace. It goes through his ward or whatever he has, and he only does 2 wounds. Then I shoot out with my bolt thrower, and I honestly didn't think my bolt thrower could pick it out. I thought I just had to shoot at the unit, but he said I could. So the bolt thrower hit it and wounded it and got past the whatever saves he had, but it only did 1 wound to him. So glad that my cannon didn't blow up. Glad that I hit it and wounded it. But it would have been nice to take it out because I've got a lot of targets I need to get off the board. So we go to Skaven turn 1, and it looks like that. So the Doom Wheel here in the middle came charging at my gyrocopter. I'm glad he didn't hit my gyrocopter, but now he's just going to shoot at it and kill it. That wasn't very hard. So we go to Dwarf turn 2. So I actually kind of liked how this worked out. I mean, I didn't love losing my gyrocopter because I really wanted him behind the lines, dropping flame templates down. But my unit of warriors on the left hit the Doom Wheel. I really thought that when they charged in there, I'd easily just kill it, and then I'd be sitting out there in front of my lines. But if he charges me with anybody, I'm just going to flee, hopefully bounce through my lines, and with their high leadership, I'm not really worried about dwarves rallying. So I kind of like this idea of using my smallest units to rush out, pick on a target they can beat, and then flee behind my lines, rally, and come up later. So it's kind of what I'm going for there. I just didn't realize the Doom Wheel is it's toughness 6, 5 wounds. I didn't realize that. So my Thunder's over here shooting at stuff, whatever. And after combat, I think we did 3 wounds on the Doom Wheel, broke it in combat, but we just couldn't catch it. So Yeah, it doesn't change my plans a whole lot, except I would have liked to get that thing off the board. So overall, it looks like that. So Skaven turn 2. So his clan rats charge my warriors. I just flee. Um, I wasn't going to stand up to a flank charge there. But again, I'm really confident I'm going to be able to rally them, and I still have my battle line. And if anything else, if nothing else, my battle line is shifted to the right, so that his plague monks, are a little bit farther away from the action. His doom wheel rallies, and overall it looks as you can see it. So this other doom wheel, yeah, I think he's actually a little bit closer to my organ gun than his giant rats are behind him. I think after he moved him, he moved his rats up, making sure that he wasn't closer than my organ gun. So he shoots and kills my organ gun. I'm thinking I need to protect my war machines a little bit better. The thing about the organ gun is it only has 24-inch range, and so I had it up close. But in hindsight, I think it's better just to. You're not going to get a shot the first round anyway. Just move it back. I think this is a. It could be a magic spell, but I think this was a warp lightning cannon. Landed on my iron breakers and killed. About a quarter of the unit. Put a wound on my battle standard bearer who failed his lookout, sir. And we go to dwarf turn 3. So really we're doing the same thing again. My warrior unit on the right is charging his doom wheel, and my warrior unit at the bottom right rallied. So now I still have my 3-unit battle line. I've got that unit out front. My hope is to beat the doom wheel and then pursue him past the line of sight of those clan rats. And if I don't make it, if he charges, I'll just flee, and hopefully I'll flee far enough to get past my thunderers. So just kind of what I'm thinking there. You notice my miners aren't on the board yet. They were ticking me off. So there's charging this guy. I feel like I can put a ton of effort out there just try to get these doom wheels off the table. It's nice having high leadership, not having to worry about rallying. So here I felt like I got really lucky. I didn't kill the doom wheel, but I did beat it in combat and actually caught it, which was just amazing with dwarfs. I think I rolled like an 11 or 12. So the giant rats behind it failed their panic test and ran. The Anyway, and I think somehow the doom wheel ran through them, but it was kind of confusing because we were thinking that he got away, and so he had impact hits on his own unit and stuff like that, and then we realized I caught him. I don't know, but whatever it is, it ended up looking like that. So I was very, very happy that I wasn't in line of sight of his clan rats there. And also on turn 2, if you look to the left, in my shooting phase, I killed the plague furnace finally, so that was very nice. I'm getting to the point now where I don't think my war machines are going to be able to do a whole lot, so at least that's done. But anyway, the big thing is doom wheel charged into my cannon on the lower left. Yeah, it's going to be hard to survive that one. He pulls his warlock engineer out of his clan rat unit, which I thought was interesting. During the magic phase, whenever you see that token, it means he has Wither, and I think throughout the game he got it off on 2 different units. I hate that spell. It is so easy to cast, and just devastating. So these guys are now toughness 3. The cannon died actually during the shooting phase. So he took a rank, with his other shooting, took a rank off of this leftmost warrior unit, took a rank off my rightmost warrior unit. And we go to dwarf turn 4, and the miners finally come in. So, yeah, my units are really starting to get whittled down now, but I still kind of have a lot of units. So I'm very, very happy to see the miners come in. I brought them in the left so that the doom wheel couldn't charge into the bolt thrower. I'd rather just come into the miners. I think they could take care of it, and then be on his left flank. Plus, I'm going to shoot at the doom wheel this turn, and I might be able to knock off its last couple wounds. And then my miners are really in a good position. So over here on the right, I just reformed that unit, the warrior unit, so I can set up flank or rear charges on my next turn. Otherwise, I really just kind of shuffle, I think, back, maybe to the side a little bit. I really just want to keep his plague monks out of the action as long as I can. His storm vermin are so far back. I don't know. I think at the time I knew what he was doing, but I don't know what his thinking was for keeping the storm vermin back like that. Not really worried about his clan rats. So I think things are still looking okay. The bolt thrower takes off the last wounds off this doom wheel, so I was very, very happy about that. The grudge thrower blows itself up, and we go to Skaven turn 4, and I realize a huge mistake. If you look at how the horde formation, one, I didn't really think the plague monks could make that charge. I knew they could, but I didn't think it was likely to. And he just rolled well and made the charge. So, but if you look at it, when he beats that warriors unit, because there's no way that warriors unit is going to stand up to those frenzied plague monks, he's going to overrun and hit the flank of my miner unit. Darn it! That's just something I have to pay more attention to. Of what could happen there. That's huge. I mean, it just gives them my whole miner unit. The warrior unit, whatever. I was willing to, I knew I was going to lose some units in combat. That was just really, really bad positioning there. So here we are on the right. And yeah, so he's got the banner where he gets to 1 turn per game, can reroll to hit and to wound. Plus he's frenzied. Yeah, that. By the time I hit back, I only had 5 guys in the unit. He killed 15 of them. During the shooting phase, he takes another rank off my Ironbreaker unit, so then now they're getting to the point where they're worthless. Takes another rank off this unit, so it's, yeah. After combat, yeah, he absolutely mopped the floor with those warriors. Overran, hit the flank of my miners. That's not going to go well. So we go to Dwarf turn 5. Nothing I can do about the miners, so I take all the other units into his clan rats. I just got to, pick on one unit, get them dead, and reform. If I can take 2 or 3 of my units against his storm vermin, I might have a chance. But other than that, my units are getting too weakened to take him on 1-on-1 or maybe even 2-on-1. And when we looked at this combat, we were saying, I need 20 wounds so that he won't be steadfast. If he's steadfast, it's going to be like on 10 rerollable. I mean, I'm just not gonna break him. If I do 20 wounds, then he'll be on snake eyes, and then I do have a good chance. So we rolled it up, and I did 18 wounds instead of 20. It just killed me. I couldn't believe it. But what's funny is now that I look at the picture, we were so wrapped up in figuring out those numbers, and we knew that I killed 18, and so therefore, hey, he's still steadfast. We didn't actually count ranks. And so now I'm putting together the battle report. I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, I've got 4 ranks in my warrior unit in the lower right. He only has 4 complete ranks. He wasn't steadfast. So that was not, I mean, that was just both of us making a mistake there. So anyway, we played it as if he was steadfast and he stuck, and I'm thinking there's the game right there, because now all he has to do is countercharge with those storm vermin, and he's easily going to win through combat res and should easily catch 2 of my units, and at that point there's nothing I can do. So over here the plague monks make a mess of the miners, and then on his turn I couldn't believe it. He didn't charge in. And I actually asked him, I was like, so what do you, why didn't you charge in? He said, oh, you'll see. So that was funny. Yeah. So what he did is first he got Wither off on my lower right warrior unit. I already had it on the top warrior unit. You can see by that marker. And then he cast a spell where every unit touching his rats, including his rats, every model has to take a toughness test or die. And I just lost almost everybody from all 4 units. I thought that was very nicely done. In combat, we know I'm going to kill the rest of those clan rats, but who really cares? My units are now absolutely worthless. I'm saying they have their points, but they can't do anything to the rest of them. So after combat, yeah, I kill the 1 unit, but I'm still facing all his others. Now, in the midst of the game, what I really thought right now was it was probably pretty close points wise. So what I was thinking was, the nice thing is I have 4 units all close together, so whenever he charges, I just have to flee and I'm going to bounce through my unit. And then if he charges somebody else, I flee and I should bounce again, and he's actually going to have a hard time catching any of my units. And so it'll be turn 6, and there's not going to be a whole lot he can do about it. So on my turn, I just back up as far as possible to make it a little bit harder for him to catch my units, knowing at this point I'm just going to flee and try to pull a draw out of it. So he charges, and I flee with everybody, and it looks something like that. So um, during magic and shooting, he was able to kill my battle standard bearer as well as the four remaining iron breakers. So that didn't help my cause in terms of trying to pull out a draw. And the battle standard bearer, by the way, he failed a toughness test. He needed anything but a 6, and he rolled a 6. So at the end of the game, it looked like that. When we added up the points, it actually ended up being a huge victory for the Skaven, just because he still had a lot of points left. He had almost all his characters. He still got points for the Plague Furnace, and both those, the Plague Monks and the Storm Vermin were big units of his more elite troops. So he actually still had a lot of points left. And even though I still had, I only had 3 units left. I lost the Ironbreakers, a unit of Warriors, and my Miners. So yeah, ended up not being a very good showing for the Dwarfs there. It was actually kind of a fun little challenge trying to use the smaller units to maneuver around. I thought things were going okay with it, but in the end, he was just able to whittle those units down to where by the time we got into combat, I just wasn't going to survive. I mean, even if I fought better than him, he would do enough wounds just to kill my guys. So I don't know if it's because he had me, um, with such dominant magic and shooting that was equal to or better than mine, or whatever. Um, yeah, I don't know. But I might try it again with these warriors, with these dwarfs, because, like I said, it was kind of fun. They have some things about them that, they're high leadership. You can flee and know you're going to rally, and without the wither, you have high toughness. So you'll see. You might see them in a game here in the near future. But as far as this one goes, the rat droppings stay in the beer. The Skaven pull out the victory, and we wait for our revenge next time. Thanks for watching.